I'm Rebecca Roberts. We're currently in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I was born and raised in Carbondale. I got back from Iraq the 19th of December 2003. I was honorably discharged from the military the 29th of April 2004. My views changed dramatically. I joined after September 11th. I joined with the notion of that could have been my sister, that could have been my brother, that could have been my uncle, or anybody, one of my family members. But you know what? They were all my brothers and sisters. I feel in one way or another. That's why I joined the military. I knew what I was getting into when I joined. We were already invaded Afghanistan. I knew I was going to get deployed somewhere, and then when Iraq started to come up, I knew I was going to be sent over as a military police officer. My unit, they deal with prisoners of war, so I would be dealing with Iraqi prisoners. I came back just really confused at first and not knowing, like, we were over there, and it seems that we got some things accomplished. We got rid of Saddam, yay, but we were still over there. And for what reasons? I can only think of one thing, and that's money. Bringing democracy to Iraq. The thing that really was just like the bottom line was just they pumped us up so much. They were like, yeah, we're gonna go and kill the ragheads. We didn't think that we were, yeah, we had to liberate the people and try to like make them free from Saddam. And once we got rid of Saddam, and they were still killing us, so that kind of pissed us off even more. Pissed me off until I started to realize, well, wait, why are they doing it? Because they don't want us there in their country. Okay, they still feel the hate, and just because we bombed the shit out of their country. I've been to Saddam's palaces. I lived in Abu Ghraib prison, okay, for 6 months. They had gold-plated seats, for Christ's sakes, and you leave the front gate and you have like these poor innocent people living in shacks. It's amazing because you could still see the same thing here. All right, you walk down the street, you see boarded up houses and homes and whatnot, and then you have like the upper class living in, just like palaces. Having a female, okay, in charge, they weren't used to that. They weren't seeing females in their culture with the pistol on their side, okay? So I went to work, with the thing of trying to enlighten these prisoners to say that, hey, you might live one way, but there's a whole nother world out there. My chain of command, they didn't want me too involved with the prisoners because it was against their beliefs and their views. And I say, you know what, I joined the military for one reason, to protect my country. It shouldn't matter if I'm a woman, if I'm a man, or whatever. I can do a job just as good as anybody else. But it was hellish because you had the majority being male and the minority being female, and they took advantage of that to an extent, and it was hell sometimes. I took more heat from my chain of command than doing my job than from the prisoners, because the prisoners actually respected me more than my own chain of command. It was just so chewed up, and the whole experience over there was just like, when are we going home? We were told one thing, all right, you're gonna go home for the 4th of July. Okay, 4th of July came, well, when are we going home? You're not gonna go home yet. You're probably gonna go home somewhere, in the middle of August or September. So they kept on feeding us a line of bullshit. Time went on, we were getting worn out. We didn't have the extra support. We ate like shit, and this is the thing that pisses me off the most. Was when we were at Abu Ghraib prison, we ate eggs for 3 months. I know war is hell, but when you have in the newspapers back home, back in the States, when you see in the newspapers President Bush with a fake turkey at Baghdad International Airport, which is 20 minutes away, okay, with a fake turkey, okay, and they have a Burger King there. They have a Burger King actually at Baghdad International Airport. 20 minutes away, you have us suffering with no support, getting mortared every other night, okay? It's just screwed up that you don't hear about that in the papers. And then they try to get, Joe Schmo to join the military because they take such good care of their troops, which is bullshit. I have every right to be angry because I joined with the notion in my heart that I was doing some kind of right. And in return, I felt that I was doing something totally wrong. War is hell. War is definitely hell. But I feel that this war was unnecessary. And then I was lied to, and just how do you trust the government after, you go through something like that? How can you learn just to believe what they say, and what you see on TV is not really what's the reality, because they keep you in a bubble. That's all they do. They keep you in a fucking bubble. And it's really disturbing. Once you leave the country and you look back on America, it's amazing how well fed these people are around here. The bullshit. The military is definitely a good thing, and that we need to protect America to some extent, but just to go in there and wage war against some country that has absolutely no means of protecting itself, found no weapons of mass destruction. Hello. Of course you're gonna have guerrillas out there shooting at us and putting mortars, everywhere, and RPGs, because they're pissed off at us. I would be pissed off too. To protect my country, I would protect my country, I would. But I wouldn't go to another country and do what we did. If I look at my niece, Madison, she's 4 years old. I see myself at her age and the way that I thought, and I try to put myself back there,